Cabinet Secretary for East African Community Affairs and ASALS, Rebecca Miano, the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport, my younger brother Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, the Principal Secretary is present, the Ambassador of the United States of America, Her Excellency Meg Whitman, the Ambassador of Ukraine, His Excellency Ambassador Adril, the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Her Excellency Jane Marriott, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Norway, His Excellency Ambassador Gunnar Holm, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium, Ambassador Peter Madens, the Ambassador of the Czech Republic, His Excellency Martin Kiplector, the First Secretary of Food Security and Water, Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands, the United Nations Resident Coordinator in Kenya, Dr. Stephen Jackson, the World Food Program County Director, Lorraine Landis, the Kenya Ports Authority Board of Directors, the Managing Director, Captain William Ruto, the members of the fourth estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The MD of the premises here had a problem with my name. I am Rigathi Gachagua. It's a difficult name, and the young people, in their creative and innovative nature, summarized it as Rig G, so you could as well use that one to make it much easier for you. This indeed is a high-power delegation of ambassadors and high commissioners in one function. The delegation underscores the importance of this meeting, of receiving and flagging off 25,000 metric tons of wheat, a generous contribution from the people of the United Kingdom, Norway, Belgium, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, Slovenia, and the Czech Republic through our long-standing partner, the World Food Program. Allow me to acknowledge in a very special way Ambassador Adril and the great people of Ukraine, a country of gallant, resilient, and industrious farmers who have stood against all odds of war to feed the world, Kenya included. Please applaud the people of Ukraine. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, the food has been delivered in response to our national and international appeal for relief assistance in saving lives and livelihoods in emergency or high alert. On behalf of President William Ruto and the people of the Republic of Kenya, we sincerely thank you all who have made it possible for us to receive such a single but mammoth consignment. We also thank the government of the United States through USAID, which has donated more than US dollars 277 million and another 60 million US dollars in food to Kenya through the World Food Program. This has been going on for the last 1 year, complementing our efforts of countering famine, a national disaster due to prolonged drought and the effects of climate change. Across the board, the United States of America is providing about 80% of all the humanitarian assistance to the current food crisis. Ambassador Meg, on behalf of President William Ruto and the government and the people of Kenya, through you, please accept our very sincere gratitude to the United States of America and its people for the assistance that you have given to this country in very difficult times. Asante sana balozi. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, the donation we flag off today is a shot in the arm when at least 5.4 million Kenyans are facing starvation. We have also lost more than 2.6 million livestock. Children under 5 years and expectant and lactating mothers face malnutrition. Millions of lives and livelihoods are at stake. With this delivery in a few days, that one expectant mother in Turkana or Tana River will have food in her plate. In a few days, that one lactating mother in Marsabit or Mandera will have food for her family and milk for her baby. In a few days, that one child in Samburu or Kitui will sleep with a full stomach. We look forward to more support, even as we receive a shipment of 16,000 metric tons of sorghum from the United States of America through USAID. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, this assistance also comes when the World Food Program is about to roll out the Lisha Jamii Phase 2 program from April to September 2023. The Director of World Food Program, subsequent to the meeting we had last week, that is why the Minister of Education is in tow. Just when you see him, you remember what we agreed, that we need to put a little bit more effort to the schools through the feeding program for the schools so that we can keep our children in school. The Kenya shilling 7 billion project will offer monthly food assortments, cash or both, to about 1 million Kenyans facing starvation in 10 counties. The counties are Turkana, Marsabit, Samburu, Isiolo, Tana River, Baringo, Kitui, Wajir, Garissa, and Mandela. Again, the Director of World Food Program will be making a request that you consider. There are counties in non-ASAL areas that are facing difficult situations similar to what is happening in these counties. We have some areas in the counties of Nyeri, counties of Kiambu, counties of Murang'a, the county of Migori, where we have pockets that have similar climatic conditions as in those ASAL counties. So we'll be making a request to the World Food Program to consider non-traditional, non-ASAL areas that have not been receiving support from the World Food Program to be considered, because the people in those counties are saving similar conditions and they are also facing hunger and starvation. The government of Kenya appreciates this support, which is an enhancement of the Lisha Jamii Phase 1, which has benefited 89,000 households in 12 counties since July 2022. To all friends of Kenya, and as Ambassador Jane Marriott suggests, the international partners, we want to say a big thank you. Asanteni sana. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, while rains have been reported in parts of the country, projections from the Kenya Meteorological Department paint a grim year, 2023. It may not be a normal March, May enhanced rain, but irregular and depressed. This means food security is threatened for a couple of months ahead. That is why the government has committed at least 23.96 billion Kenya shillings for drought response between April and October 2023. Some of the targeted activities are relief food, water trucking, distilling boreholes, livestock feeds, and offtake programs, among others. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, with the advent of the rains, those sparse, we look forward to an enhanced food security before the end of the year. We are banking on farmers from 16 maize-producing counties who have received subsidized fertilizer to inject their harvest into the supply chain within 6 months or so. We encourage farmers to consider quick maturing and drought-tolerant crops for an assured harvest amidst the uncertainty of the rains. Meanwhile, we have waived import duty to allow for millers to bring in 900,000 metric tons of white maize, 600,000 metric tons of rice between February 2023 and August 2023. These stocks will plug in the deficit until the next harvest. In addition, we have also allowed importation of duty-free yellow maize to assist millers of animal feeds so that they stop competing with human beings for the white maize. So we expect the millers of animal feeds to take advantage of that facility that has been accorded by government to import yellow maize so that they can be able to give our livestock farmers feeds at a slightly lower price. While these short-term and mid-term responses remain key, we are scaling up resilient interventions alongside our partners, like the World Food Program, which is working with smallholder farmers in building a strong food security system. We welcome more support on resilience from our partners. We are also encouraging our people to grow more trees during these rains as a sustainable measure against climate change. If we must defeat climate change and its negative effects, it is befitting to grow at least a tree a day towards our goal of 15 billion trees by the year 2032. We also encourage farmers to adopt smart agriculture, which involves integrating simple technology into their work for better harvest. Ambassadors, distinguished guests, as I conclude, I wish to point out that the school meal program, which was initially supported by the World Food Program, continues to be beneficial since its handover in 2018. It is, however, facing challenges in reach. It is as a result that we had a very meaningful engagement with the director of the World Food Program and our team to see how to address this shortcoming. Currently, we reach about 2.5 million learners, but we wish to scale it up, resources permitting. While the UN agency has committed to support us in resource mobilization to reach more children, we appeal to other international partners to join us in keeping our children in school. It is one of the greatest ways of securing their future. Thank you, and God bless you. I want to add three things only very shortly. One is to say that on his ascendancy to the presidency, President William Ruto tasked my office with the role of coordinating response to the drought situation. And I really want to take this moment to thank all the stakeholders, our international partners, the county governments, the World Food Program, the Kenya Red Cross, all other humanitarian organizations that we have been working with. I want to thank Dr. Jackson of the UN office for the support. And I must say that difficult as things have been, we have not lost a single life because of famine. And I want to say, I really want to thank all the stakeholders for the support that you have accorded me in that role of coordinating the drought response so that we can look for ways to keep our people alive and try to protect livelihoods. I want to thank you, and I want to ask for continued support as we go into the future. Number two, I want to make a special appeal to our international partners to consider chipping in on the school feeding program as a way of keeping our children in school. As it is, many children have left school because of hunger, and one of the ways to secure their future and keep our education system going is to avail food in school. So that is a special appeal that I want to make to our partners to consider how they can help us in that particular aspect. Finally, I want to assure the people of Kenya that the country is stable. President William Ruto is in charge of the country. And I want to say that the situation that we are facing today in Nairobi, life goes on, that is why we are here. Many Kenyans are going about their lives, and we are happy that most Kenyans trusted the government that will protect life and property, and they have gone to work. And they have ignored the illegal declaration of a holiday that cannot be. Nevertheless, quite a number of business people in the central business district in Nairobi did not open their shops and businesses, arising from fear of looting and destruction of property, having considered what happened in Kisumu, where the Azimio people looted tents, chairs, and food, and Azimio people were threatening business people not to open by threatening that they will loot their wares. As a result, this morning, because of lack of business in the CBD, the country has lost almost 2 billion shillings in terms of business. And this is money that should have been circulating in the economy. We want to urge these people to consider this afternoon to call off the chaos, the mayhem, the intimidation, because what they are doing is destroying our economy. The economy had begun showing signs of recovery, and we were getting a lot of affirmation from international financial players and no other partners. But the events that are being organized by the opposition is not good for business, it's not good for the economy, and we want to ask the organizers to consider this afternoon to call off the mayhem and the chaos so that those who did not open their businesses and shops can go back to work this afternoon. But I want to assure the people of Kenya that President William Ruto has given very firm and clear instructions to the Inspector General of Police to protect life and property. And as this afternoon, the police have taken charge of the Central Business District. No life has been lost, no property has been destroyed, and those activities will continue for the remainder of the day, tomorrow, the day after, the weeks to come, the months to come. We have a responsible government in office who have a constitutional duty to protect life and property. So we urge the people of Kenya to ignore being incited into violence and destruction of property, because it's not good for the economy, it's not good for the country. And we want to thank those who are courageous enough to ignore threats and intimidation and to go about their businesses in an orderly manner. We have a country to run, and we want to ask those who are organizing demonstrations, those who are organizing chaos, those who are organizing mayhem, to be decent people. They cannot ask the children of poor people to get involved in violence when their own children are in safety in the East African Legislative Assembly in Arusha. It is not fair, it is not right. If they are so persuaded that people need to go to the streets and cause chaos and mayhem, they should ask their children to be in the forefront so that if there are issues, their children can bear the consequences. But it is not right, it is not fair for you to ask the children of other people to go and cause chaos and mayhem where your own children are safe in another country, enjoying the perks and the luxuries of the jobs that you have given them. It is not fair, it is not right. So with those very many remarks, I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming to be with us here in Mombasa. We want to thank the grain bag handlers for very efficient way you are handling the grain, and we want to urge you to continue. And maybe before I close, I want also to take this opportunity to say that the Kenya Ports Authority has undergone serious changes in terms of management. We have a new board of directors, and a new chief executive officer has been appointed. The new team has instructions from the Minister for Transport to inject efficiency in this port, to do away with the bureaucracy, to make this port a corruption-free zone. We want this port to be the destination of choice in Africa. And we have no doubt in our mind, and we want to applaud the board of directors for the choice of Captain William Ruto, who has institutional memory and a proven track record of managing this port. And the government is happy because the reaction we have gotten from the stakeholders, from the dock worker union, from the clearing and forwarding group, from the shipment agencies and everybody, the appointment of Captain Ruto has been taken very positively, and we believe that the new management will inject efficiency in this port. And we want to tell the new managers of this port to know that you are in competition with our neighbors. So you don't have a monopoly. The only way to stay in business is for you to be efficient and to have a seamless way of managing this port in an efficient, less and less expensive, so that you can attract more business. So with those very remarks, I want to say thank you. May God bless you and bless you abundantly. Asanteni sana.